Waupun Correctional Prison on lockdown. Inmates says they treated like dogs. Inmates say they treated like dogs because they locked in a cage uh, since March. Since March, they haven't been able to come out of their cells. They eat in their cells. They take a shower, not a shower in their cell, but they got a sink, so they wash up in their cells. And inmates feel like they're being treated like dogs. They locked in their cages, which is their cells, all day, all night. They don't get their come out of the cells for nothing. All right, Waupun population is 11,515. That's the population of Waupun City around the prison. The reason why I pointed that out because I'm gonna come up with another suggestion later on. Number two, 4 prisoners to 1 guard. There is 4 prisoners to 1 guard in the prison. On a federal level, it should be 10 guards to 1 inmate. And there's only 4 prisoners to 1 guard. So that means the prisoners got the advantage unless they bring in more workers. But right now, 4 prisoners to 1 guard. Number three, the prison is designed to hold 882 inmates and has grown to 999 inmates. It's only designed to hold 882 inmates and has grown to hold 999 inmates, which is another 117 inmates over capacity. This is what they're working with. Number four, Waupun Prison is struggling to fill 300 vacancies. Get that, 300 vacancies. Ain't no prison gonna be able to operate normal if you got 300 vacancies. So I understand why they on lockdown. Not saying lockdown is right, but if the inmates is 4 to 1, 4 prisoners to 1 guard, then they can, potentially overthrow or control the prison. And it could be a dangerous job for the guards, being surrounded all the time, or the guys notice that they got the upper hand. That could be dangerous for a guard. Number five, lockdown began in March of 2023. It said there's no specific reason why, but reading a couple articles is saying that it's a way to control the prison. So it's a control lockdown to control the prison. If not, the prison would just be wild, and it's not enough staff to keep containment of the prison. Number six, inmates have missed court dates and are at risk of losing civil lawsuits have been filed by the inmates. Inmates have missed court dates and are at risk of losing appeals. Civil lawsuits have been filed by the inmates. Now that's a sad one right there. If they're in the risk of losing appeals, some of these people got life and they want to go home, and they got a really good chance to go home if they just do their court case. And now you're saying you're going into a lockdown and these guys missing their cases? Oh, that ain't gonna go too well. Some of these guys might be stuck in prison, might have had a pretty good case, and may not be able to get their case back in court, depending on how their case worked. And so that's sad if that's happening. Number eight, prison officials say lockdown is modified movement, not safe for guards or inmates. It may not be safe for guards or inmates. The inmates may be searching to jump on another person, 10 or 15 of them, and there's no guard to break it up. That person gonna be severely hurt by the time they break it up. And like I said, if the guards is in there and they surrounded by inmates, and the inmates understand they got the upper hand, that could be potentially dangerous also. So yeah, I understand this lockdown makes sense to keep everybody safe. It's not humane, no, but they have to do what they have to do, it look like. Prison shortages of guards is due to being overworked, and they're overworked and low wages. And safety of the guards have been, and some of the guards have been getting assaulted. So some of the guys is overworked and the wages are low. I'm sure if they overworked, they're probably making crazy overtime, probably pushing 100,000 a year. But these wages being low, I think this has something to do with the governor coming in and changing a lot of stuff. Maybe Scott Walker, I think. Now you look around a lot of these states. I know some states, but a lot of these states went to like paying the prison guards low wages. So what you want the prison guard to be corrupted? What kind of prison guard you gonna get in there to guard the inmates if you're paying them low wages? What kind of guard you gonna get in there? You might get somebody in there that's just like the inmates, and now you got all this stuff going on in the prison, sneaking in, through the guards. So you should always pay guards uh, high wages so you can get some good guards in there that stick to the rules and really keep the peace. The safety of the guards, that's another issue. These guards need to be safe. They need to go home to their family. They came to work safe. They need to go home safe. They don't need to go home injured or hurt. So this is my take on this Waupun thing. Is it right? The inmates on lockdown since March? No, it isn't right, but it may be safer for the guards and the inmates for them to be on lockdown till they can fill these 300 vacancies and get everything back under control. Then also I mentioned that the Waupun population around the prison is 11,515. Now, what percentage of that population? This Waupun prison is way out in the country. So what percentage of that population want to work as in the prison? Maybe not many. It's more like farmland around that prison. It's way out. Maybe 2 hours away from a big city, each direction, east and west. Now, what percentage of people want to work in that prison around that community? I bet you it ain't a lot, and it's probably supplying a lot of jobs. Probably the bigger supplier of jobs in that community. But a lot of people don't want to graduate school and work in the prison. That's not people's dreams. So if this prison was in the bigger city, it'd probably be no problem filling the vacancies. But because it's way out somewhere, they probably gonna have this problem for a while. Filling vacancies. And they were talking about bringing National Guard in there. Hopefully they don't, but that was on the table too. So hopefully they get this corrected. The inmates get their freedom back, get to go to court, law books. But I'll keep an eye on it and keep everybody posted. Inmates should not be on constant lockdown, but it is what it is to keep everybody safe. Sound like a load of BS, but that's probably true. I'm out.